I bought another Dell, and this time it is a Dell 990 with an i7 2600. It only has 4 gigabytes of RAM, but that's okay. Only a 250 gigabyte hard drive, but I'll take it. Win 7 Pro, but that's what I really wanted. And $209.99. That's a deal in my opinion. Most of the time these things are going for more than the $200 plus 40 bucks or 50 bucks to ship it. So let's go take a look at it, see what we got. And here it is, the Optiplex 990. It's in great shape. There's no big scratches or scuff marks on it. Very clean. The 4 gigabytes of RAM is only occupying 2 slots, so that's a big plus. The biggest problem with this is the power supply. So we can't really do much until we switch out that power supply. And luckily, I saved that Corsair power supply from the Digital Storm gaming PC. I had planned on selling that on Craigslist, but I decided to save it for some future project, and hopefully it'll go right into there. And since I haven't tested that HD 7970 that I bought, we're gonna stick it in this machine, install that PSU. I think I have 2 more gigabytes of RAM that we can, it's just laying in a drawer. We can bump the RAM up to 6 gigabytes. So let's go ahead and plug this Dell in and make sure it works. Alright, well, it seems like everything's working. One of the other issues with this PC, the length that we have here between the rear I/O and this hard drive cage. So that's kind of concerning me because that doesn't look like it's enough room for that HD 7970. So let's take it out of the box and measure it. We are at 11 inches at the end of the cooler right there. And right here we only have about 10.5 inches. So before we install this card, we actually have to relocate this hard drive cage, which is a bit of a bummer. Oh well, that's okay. That's the first thing we gotta do. So in order to remove this hard drive cage and relocate it, there's actually rivets in here. There's 3 on each side. Well, we got 3 over there, and then we got these 2 up here, and that means we have to drill or grind them out. And when you're drilling and grinding, all this has to be removed. We got to take the motherboard out, power supply, all that stuff, and grind on the metal. You don't want metal shavings and stuff to get anywhere on the motherboard. So already this is turning into a little bit more of a project than I anticipated, only because that HD 7970 is just too long. If we had a more modern graphics card, it would slip right into that area. So let's remove all this stuff and relocate that drive. One, two, three. We can drill them out from this side. And then we will take off this front panel, and we can drill out these 2, these 3. So those 5, And those 3 in that cage will come out. In the 390, I basically did this. I mounted it up here. See how these holes kind of line up with these holes? That's what we're going to do with this one. We got to start with taking off these 2 brackets. Anytime you already have a piece of metal bent over like that, it's pretty much weak right there. And you can grab it, wiggle it, and it comes right off. That's super easy. Wiggle it a few times, comes right off. We can actually probably just flatten this one out with a hammer and just put it on the edge right here. Let's see. I mean, it is a tiny bit bent up, but basically as long as this hard drive still slides in there okay, we're good. See, it's still locked in there. To tell you the truth, it's like almost perfect. This little lip, if we get rid of that lip where this can slide underneath there, then that would probably be the better situation, just to make it that much more secure. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten out or cut off this little edge right here. We are going to just take these tin snips and we're going to cut it right along the edge. Easy. Although we left a really sharp edge there, let's cut the corners. It's not too bad actually. This little tab right here is kind of sticking out more than this edge, so I'm going to cut that off too. Get that out of the way. Now let's see how this lays in there. That's nice. It's right up against there. These holes almost line up perfectly. Go ahead and cut this off. This back piece right here. Maybe we're gonna just flatten it out actually. We're gonna continue to flatten this piece out. I think we could attach it to this edge right here. So I'm taking these channel locks, or these channel lock pliers, and I'm just kind of flattening it out a little bit like that. And then once we got it kind of like that, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the vise and just smash it. And that pretty much flattened it out. If you want, you can go ahead and bang on it a little bit with a hammer. And I mean, flatten all that out. So let's see how this is going to fit. Alright. Look at that. It's pretty nice. This is actually working out better than it did when I did it on my 390, to tell you the truth. We can fit the world's biggest graphics card in here now. Well, another thing is that it actually is high enough to where the card will clear it even if it's too long. So basically, I'm going to be marking right here because we need to drill these holes out. There, right there. And then we'll go over here to the front and drill these holes out. So these are the original holes, and I'm just going to drill right beside them, and then I'm going to drill a hole here and a hole there, and that should secure it. So I basically just dug through my my little container full of screws, and I found these, which seem like they'll be acceptable. Don't over tighten them, because then you'll strip them out. Those holes are a little too big for those screws. Let's try this one right here. That one might be a little bit better. That's nice. It even actually tightened up pretty good. Our hard drive cage is secure. I could probably even see how there is a screw hole right there. What kind of lines up with these little pre-cut vents. And I think I'll be able to just screw one in there. Use my little mini screwdriver. Haha, that actually worked. That tightened up nice. See that screw down in there now? This one right here. Now it's really solid. It's perfect. Alright, so the relocation of the hard drive is totally done. It's connected with 2 screws right here, 1 right here, and 2 in the front. So that's plenty. The hard drive slips in there perfect. Oops, got it upside down again. Alright, that's nice. Nice and strong. Alright, let's go ahead and put it back together.